live stream this conference. So you may not realize it, but all of you are being streamed across the web, across the internet, and people from all over the world can see you. So please be at the best of your behavior and don't hackle. Thank you very much for being such a wonderful, generous audience. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd now like to begin our first panel discussion. The panelists, truly, every one of them is a shining star. They are definitely going to lead by example, because sometimes we see people being experts or analyzing situations and scenarios for you where they have little experience themselves. But the people we've put on our panel today are the ones who face these challenges, who've seen the opportunities, who see the challenges as opportunities with thorns on them, and have plucked out each one of them with a lot of passion, hard work, commitment, and persistence. Ladies and gentlemen, today you will see three shining stars who will first be talking about in our first panel discussion of why they decided to be entrepreneurs in the first place. What does it take to be an entrepreneur? It may seem all glamorous now when they're on this panel, but what was it like to begin a few years back where perhaps you and your closest circle was the only one believing in your idea? So please join me in welcoming my wonderful panel. The first one today is someone who had a novel idea. She founded the premier art gallery of Pakistan that deals with modern, new miniature, and contemporary art. The Canvas Gallery, as you are very familiar with it. She's also a brand ambassador of the Ladies Fund, a winner of the Ladies Fund Women Entrepreneurship Award 2008, and also a judge for Ladies Fund Women Entrepreneurship Awards 2010. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the very graceful Samira Raja. Ladies and gentlemen, our next panelist, someone everyone's familiar of. If you are specifically planning a dream wedding, there's no way you can miss out his name. And when you hear his story, it's even more an inspiration. Yes, a business graduate, but at the same time, he started off just like a number of our professionals, being a salaried individual, joining a big bank. But soon, his creative calling was too hard to resist, and he decided to move on to a venture, move on and start up a venture which is truly a global name today. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the pioneering, the enterprising Amir Adnan. May I request our student volunteers to kindly pull this away? I'd like to pull this chair a little closer. Making room for the lady who's truly a trailblazer. Traditionally, if I look at it, because just about a little while ago, 8 months ago, I've started my own PR venture. She is a PR practitioner, so she should be taken as competition. But we practice different genres, and more or less, she's truly someone I enjoy having as a friend. There's a close bond we share, and why I feel that she's truly someone you would learn a lot from her experiences, because she hails from Lahore, and there is no other PR company in that city but hers. Ladies and gentlemen, she's now representing a number of very glamorous accounts, people who deal with lifestyle, people who need professionals like her to manage the perceptions and have that bond and connect with their consumers. She's currently representing L'Oreal. She's previously worked with a number of big accounts, and also, not to forget, Coca-Cola. If you know Coke Studio, that's her baby. Please welcome Selina Rashid. Since she's a guest from Lahore, I think we can applause a little longer. Okay, we need to mic some of them up to give some voice to our entrepreneurs. I hope that this will be a fruitful discussion for all of you. We've tried to cover the various questions that boggled me when I was starting my own setup, and I'm sure they're just as challenging for a number of you. Once again, I'd request everyone to please be seated, please be patient with us, and we will be taking in your questions so you can scribble them as they pop up in your head. Now, to begin with, my first question would be to you, Samira. Why and when did you decide that you want to be an entrepreneur? You might have. Good.
Does this work?
Yes. Can you all hear Samira?
Yeah.
Will you speak for them?
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Samira. I am a trained architect.
They can't hear you.
They can't.
Audio?
Should I just unclip this?
No. Now you speak. I think he's just put up the volume.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Assalamu alaikum. I am a trained architect from the National College of Arts, which is an art school. So I have an art background, and when I came back to Karachi, I realized that there weren't any... Can't hear me? Okay, should I do that?
I think this is...
Is that better?
Can't see you, can't hear you. Imagine this is radio, but once again,
Okay. Can you see me now? Is that better? Can you hear me? No? Should I stand up? So should I hold? No, so I'll just unclip this, right? Okay.
Hello.
Is that okay now? Okay. Tasveer bhi aa rahi hai? Okay. My name is Samira, and I am a trained architect from the National College of Arts, which of course is an art school. So I have knowledge of art, let's say. And I came back to Karachi, and I realized that there weren't any galleries that were exhibiting the young artists of Pakistan. There is a lot of talent in the youth of Pakistan, and I completely believe in the youth. So I felt that because there's a dearth, I must do something. Rather than do the tried and tested old masters, people who've been there, who've been done to death, I wanted to repose confidence in the youth. And that was the reason that I started Canvas, which was in 1999.
So Canvas definitely became a force for people who are definitely wanting to establish their names in the world of art. Amir, we've heard this one from you earlier. I'm sure they know that you started out as a banker. Then what became the calling? What was that triggering factor?
Assalamu alaikum ji, to predominantly women and a few gentlemen in this corner. Acha ji, what you're asking me is why I...
chose to be an entrepreneur rather than...
But before I tell you this bit, I would like to go back to a story that I love sharing with people. I knew that I was going to be an entrepreneur when I was actually 4 years old. And between the age of 4 and 5, I knew it very clearly what I wanted to do with my life. Okay? I did not know what an entrepreneur is at that time. I had no clue what I was going to do eventually. But I'll just narrate the story. When I was 4 years old, my mother wanted to buy an eyeshadow box. Okay? Her makeup kit had finished. So I decided that that's an opportunity and I should come up with something that I could sell to her. So I stole my sister's geometry box and I uncapped all the medicine caps on medicine bottles from my mother's wardrobe. And I took her vanishing cream and I took my own painting box. And I mixed the colors with the vanishing cream. I filled in the lids of all the medicine caps. And I put them all nicely in the geometry box. And I gave it to my mother. Here's your makeup kit. And you need to pay me now. So, now, this I did at the age of 4. When I was about 4 and a half, my father wanted to buy some paintings for the house. And of course, that was another need that popped up because he had money. He could go out and buy paintings, and there was me ever enterprising to do something. So I picked up my toothbrush, and I again stole my sister's paints, who was older than me, and I found a piece of cardboard lying around in the junkyard somewhere. And I spent 2 nights in secret in my room, And I prepared an abstract art. I just put all the paints on it and I scribbled with the toothbrush. That was the only brush I knew how to use. And voila, there was a painting. When I presented it to my father and I said, you were looking for a painting, here it is. But thanks to him, he put it up in the drawing room and he very proudly told everyone that, ye mere bete ne painting banai. He was only 4.5. And I was very happy. And then at the age of 5, my sister had a haircut forcefully. And I'm talking about these 3 people because, when you're 4 and 5, your parents and your siblings, elder, are the only influential people in your life. They're the only ones you come across. So she wanted to regrow her hair because she had been, the whole thing had been chopped off. And I was sitting on my veranda, which was on the 2nd floor. We were in a little apartment, and this was all in Dhaka, by the way. And there was a truck passing by which had jute ke bale, jute hota tha Dhaka mein patsan. And one of those things fell off. And I saw this long strand of hair, which was yellow in color, and I said, aha, that's my wig. So I ran down with my maid, I picked it up, I brought it up, and I made my maid sit up like this, and I made the kneecap as a head, and I put the jute on it, and I cut it at the right length, and I stitched it up, and I turned that into a yellow wig, and I gave it to my sister. You lost your hair, and whenever you want to go out, why don't you put this on? So these were the 3 things I distinctly remember I did between the age of 4 and 5